that are just ready to be put on a pedestal and ready to shine.
Yeah, give them that structure.
Now, for me, how you put it on that previous game is exactly what Na'Vi did. They went and grabbed the best players, cohesion, teamwork, the best IGL, boom, it works.
It does.
And I think LATAM will eventually get that.
They'll find it. It may take time, it may take another competition like this. Who knows how long it could take, but when it does work, that's a very scary region. We'll find out, and there's still so much more to be seen. We are barely into this. So many more games to come your way over the next couple of days. This is going to be one hell of a competition. It's already so brilliant to watch. Na'Vi winning out the first, Liquid stamping their authority into this game. And now game 3 here, starting out in the northwest all the way down towards the south. It's game on for a lot of teams. G2 switching things up, looking for a new route forward. Can't do their usual drop, so it's a bit of a switch up for them. Curious to see how that affects them. And honestly, I want to see more from G2. A team that has real fire, real grit, some nasty individuals, but haven't seen it really accumulate too much yet. And I'm seeing a lot of teams aiming towards, I think that might be Cloud9 so far. A couple of shots coming out from, I think, Singularity, Atletico. Keep your mind towards that if you see any knocks coming out. I think they'll be safe enough for now. I think they're just pot shots. Circle coming in, Rich.
It's in a decent position, especially when we look to where it came in from the playing path. We started up in the corner, all the way in the northwest, Alcantara, then diagonally finishing around where G2 are now. Circle is slap bam over them. And the good head of them, you've only got a couple of teams that are going to have to do some serious work to get in there.
Yeah, a little bit of a scrap at the start, but I think everything should be calm enough for now. And while we have a second or two, we can actually hear a little bit more from those Liquid players.
Yeah, if the plane goes in a certain way, then some teams drop somewhere else. But for us, it's always the same where we drop, because we go Puchinki and Picado, so it's kind of the plan for this event as well.
Sticking to their guns, and we saw what happens to teams when they clash it out in these areas. No one really seems to win. It is that mutual destruction that can happen. So good to see them able to stick to their plans, but forcing others to switch things up.
Disappointed we knew about the video this time. I hope we were just going to get involved in the cast like last time, because it went kind of well, to be honest with you, in transition pretty good. So either way, Circle, as we mentioned, it's good for a lot of these teams. The main head of the pack is there. The Red Canids, Hell Yeah Brother, Incognito, Tempo Storm not too far from Central Point as well. Team Liquid, this is comfortable ground for them. They won't have to do the usual, even though they do it regardless anyway, but the usual get your gear and get the hell out as quickly as humanly possible. They're in a good pivotal spot where they can be forced to move where they want. Yeah, like how you touched
like a caveman. Look at him.
The fact that they've actually not really gone anywhere just yet.
They're actually in a bit of danger.
They're split between the winds, really. Where are they going? And all these other teams I'm seeing now on the map, there's Tracerfire going their way. They have guns. Singularity, kind of same scenario for the last 3 games. 1-1-1-1, all split and really sparse and sporadic players all over the shop causing problems. It caused problems for the Knights in the last round. Oh, your brother might have some information. There is one player over there. He does
have a shotgun.
Yeah, you don't want to get
upgraded now.
Up close and personal with that thing. It will instantly just take your head off.
Yeah, so got to be careful. Crush could feel the wrath here, but you feel as though Crush is kind of being meticulous, checking on these angles, being quite smart, whereas Raspu is unaware of this yet. And now shots coming in from further afar. That's not the player who's at the wall. So Raspu knows of shot further back, but there's the shot coming through. Tag, not what you want. You want that to be clean. Maybe feeling he had more of an opportunity, but those grates are really hindering progress. Swing and an absolute destroy of one of the Red Canids players. Bit of a shame for them. That could have been another big game to build off the back of. A gritty team for sure, but it's not gone well. And Singularity and the Knights, again, very close by.
This time round, it will be Na'Vi who are the last of the circle. There's only really Nerf who could be the next one previous. SSG went early. They're all the way on that western coast, lined up against the cliff face. They'll come down towards the water's edge through Valdemar and skirt the south, I would presume. FaZe are moving inland, and they're going to avoid that one, which is...
Nice rotation route, at least, for them. Not
yeah, it avoids the fight, which is good. Crest 249 already.
3-dub. And I want to see more from Sharky. He's one of those players out in NA who, you know, if you look purely statistically at what he was able to do, it's very impressive. So I'm hoping maybe we get to see more from Tempo Storm with their firepower. They've got positional finishes. They've been okay, but I want a little more. I want to see that that final clip from Dre there. I was like, oh, maybe there's something, but we didn't see it replicated. When
we look back to the first Global Summit, we didn't see the best of them. There were 3 members that were extremely. benefit of the doubt, they were very, very ill with tempo.
Yeah, they weren't feeling very good.
So the Classic, we didn't see the best of them. They're saying, okay, coming into this one, there could be some tempo looking really good. I mean, hell, they just win everything in America. Time and time again in MPL, champion, 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 champion. It's just money in the bank. But then when we get to the international stage, they're a contender, but we haven't seen that spark. We've seen it back in Vegas when we had the Pan-Continental. They were on home turf. They took that home.
They did well.
Slightly different roster. Okay, but still. You've got Zampa on there from the OG back in the day. I mean, there's potential. We know it's there. We know what can be done. We've just not seen it yet on this level. RV in your left-hand side. Long rotate from these. Not necessarily a rotate, just head to the circle. There's not going to be many players around them. Power grid empty. Could be an entry point. Take the hillside, have a look in. Knights, they've got 4 alive this time, which is good. It's definitely done damage to them. They're currently down in 13th place. Besides North America, they are the lowest other region. Oh.
Actually, I was about to
Chris.
say, out on a complete limb is Chris. The rest of his side are over by the southeast coast. He went out to maybe get a compound early on, and that's a big player to lose out on very early. I'm quite surprised that he was being that risque about it. That would be somewhat looked for compound, that area south of Leones. We see a lot of teams will gamble on the north side because it will move away from water eventually. But still, this is a little surprising to see Chris caught out like that. I'm curious what G2 thought was going to happen here.
Loki had the information. The audible cue was there that players were on his position. I'm seeing one of the Atletico players just cycle through the grenades to throw, so they absolutely must know he's here. I mean, you wouldn't be throwing utility this way if you didn't have some sort of an idea. Bit of a wasted opportunity for Loki. If he was going to make a stand on this one, he could have maybe moved up closer. You've got those boxes on the back. He could have tried to get on top of the building with, maybe even taken out a player on the vehicle, because they do have a limited amount of movement in their vehicles. You just open to all the elements. Singularity, they're committing to this one. That M24, if he's going to land a shot, he has to land it now. Low-key player Luke. Watching the angle and holding point.
Singularity's player's got a nice angle too, though.
If he hits that 24, then it's go time. But honestly, that's going to be just a miraculous and wild shot to aim for. Oh, C9 here as well. Oh, this is going to be bad.
That's a third party from somewhere else coming in. Yeah, there it is. Drassel, what a shot. That big boy shot from Drassel. You can't sit still in these games. And look at the distance on that. Drassel, you absolute animal, 6 times. You're so good at this, but you sit still, you give yourself up. You're going to get picked up, and Drassel's one of the players who could certainly do it. He's reading the play well. He spotted one of the players earlier on that hillside. And look how cautious he's being on his peeking. Peeking up and down, keeping safe, keeping moving, never static. That's the sort of caliber I want to be seeing from Drassel.
Yeah, he's one of those players that just can do anything with a bolt action. Drassel bots, if you watch him stream at home, the man can hit the world. And he's been playing from day one. Hell, we were casting him on Luminosity at Gamescom. Went a little bit in the back scene. We didn't see too much of him. After that, roster had kind of dissipated into the dust. Comes back with a vengeance, works his way up, and now he's in the MPL with Ghost, and they're here on the main stage playing. So it's been good to see his progression from the top to the bottom, back to the top again. But certainly Ghost, they're unfortunately down near the bottom, 14th position. 2 rough games, certainly a 16th place to kick off the day. Won't do wonders for you, not only your points, but generally just your overall feel. You know, you want to put a show on that game number 1. And when you go out like that, it's like, oh, just your mental state takes a bit of a puncture. But then again, you've got to fight till the very end, right? These players, they have mental coaches, they work at it, they work at keeping their momentum going. Been able to just pull yourself out of the dirt and carry on, that's what makes is the difference between a pro team and a terrible team, to be fair. Playing at this level, you can't let things get to you. You can't tilt and fall apart. Circle update's pretty kind to all of them, but unfortunately, it's one of those next scenarios where the next swing, everyone just starts to die because there's no room to breathe.
But look at the kind of no-go zone of Los Leones. No one believes it's going to head there because we know the tendencies of circle play, but we'll come back to that because I think Liquid are getting a little bit close to the cannons there. Down to 3, of course. They did suffer that loss at the beginning, but still able to keep their players perfectly alive. But a lot of these teams are in good enough positions. I think Liquid might have to consolidate their forces, kind of bring everything back together, centralize it. But for now, I think Na'Vi are working their way in. They went for their northern drop. Pretty common for them. It's not the first time you'll see it, nor the last if the plane seems to favor it. FaZe could get a little bit of attention here. They're on the west side roll down of Los Leones, but everyone else littered in the north, and I think the next circle, if anything, would encourage that shift to Leones if it still keeps it in. For now, they're just banking on the fact it will go on the northern side.
We've seen it before, and no doubt we'll see it again. Whether it's going to be here or not is a different question altogether. G2 tend to still play a little bit more passive compared to what we've seen in the past. Nice response, Senja. Smart Hitchman takes away the tires from him. K-Mind onto Ibi. Oh, Znak onto Jeems. So two of Liquid back to back. And it's stolen. 3 teams onto Liquid. Eyes on the prize. The winners of the previous round. They lose one with the second one knocked. I'll keep an eye and see if there is some sort of response or even a revive off the back of that to keep 3 in it. I realise that Hitchman's on his left-hand side.
Yeah, he's found a little bit of a deflate to operate from, but he's using it to get away more than anything. FaZe being engaged upon as well. They're moving in towards the battle here, moving up through the south side, heading further north. Everyone getting tags in here. Na'Vi not going to overextend. They're a careful team. They'll be smart about this, hopefully. For their sakes, 8C being knocked will at least keep FaZe tempered for now.
Grenades are out. The warning shots are there. He might have to fall back on this one. It's fine from across the road. They can get 8C up from the back of the dustbin. They don't even have to commit smokes to it. Don't give away the position. GMT also knocked. Ibi confirmed. Oh no, Liquid's down to 1. What's going on there?
Yeah, not sure what's happened with them, but they've had a bad start to this. FaZe moving further forward. Everyone else trying to shift further towards north, find some sort of compounds to play from. And looking at who, just once we see that next circle, this is all, I guess, it's all dependent on that next circle shift. We can have knocks here for sure. Obviously, Team Liquid suffered a great deal at this point. And now it's game on. Leones becomes playable. This is where it becomes back into the mix. And this is a lot of kind of shifting north-south sort of situation. So it's forced a lot of these teams in that centralized area. And it's going to mean a lot of them will head now towards Leones. Looking at Space Station Gaming, for example, they've got the pick of the litter. They go wherever they want. Liquid now falling down. 70's on the run. Last man alive. And the teams who are kind of further in the north do have the option to go on that longer rotation around this circle. And we'll be looking to see who gets good position. I'm looking at Tempo Storm. That's not a bad shout at all. They get that eastern side to play from.
It's kind of scary how many times we say Samty, last man alive. Hell, even Matra memed it in the NPL video. It is a common thing. Everyone else gets a little bit too over-aggressive, extends just a little bit too far on the boundaries and ends up paying the full price. Samty is plumb center, but he is in a very terrible, terrible compound. Tempo's in there. No one committing to the center of Los Leones yet. They'll take the side roads, SSG, G2. Playing it off on the road. Tempo Storm more towards the north with that open plateau compound. Rumblers. A team that is struggling so far is still playing passive. I mean, they need the points. They have no kills. They have no placement points. 16th place. I want to try and change that. It's not where you want to be after 3 games, because 3 games with nothing, I'm sorry, is just...
It's not good enough.
You can't, no, it's not. You can't come back for that. I mean, we saw it with the arrows in the previous round, in the post-game review. You can jump 10 places with a good game, but 3 bad games, no.
Hello, Na'Vi. Goodbye. Maybe Cloud9. Nuff did manage to stay alive and somehow get into that hut, but instantly you got to feel as though the other teammate is going to be going down here. Profi, look at the readjustment from Moldoy as well. Feeling there could be a chance that Nuff had some sort of range to him. Falls back, just waiting to hit the shots. That's fine. That's no bother to me. But if he stops and gets into that little compound, there it is. He fell back first. He wasn't getting too greedy, but now the rest of Cloud9 turn up. They trade into this one. Cloud9 didn't put all of their players towards that position, so Moldoy actually goes down. Maybe a little overextension in that 2-2.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of it. This is where Best of Luck says, okay, take the vehicle and get the hell out of there. Hell yeah, brother. Ghost Gaming have turned up.
Oh no, the slow roll.
Yeah, it was announced at least. The information was there, but there is a trade-off. Backstreams is dead. He's gone. Draskell Answers back. Balok's gone as well. Oh, this would be devastating if we had 2 out of 3 games down in 16th place. I mean, in the previous one, they lost 3 members, and the same thing's happening. Ghost Gaming are just not having the best of days so far. Mikoy's gone.
Oh, this is really bad.
It's falling apart for him.
Yeah, you got to feel for them in a way. This has just not been one of their games. The circle has shifted towards the southwest of the circle, but here comes the breach. Hell yeah, brother. They're not holding back. They want to push this. Drassel's your last man standing. The choice is his. How does he play it out now? And it looks like they're considering their options. He hears the steps. He's going to try and buy some time. That's a good idea. Drassel individually good player. Team Liquid has gone down in pretty much last place. Apparently that's how it goes. You win 1 game, you lose 1. Drassel's nade does the work towards 1 player. That's good. That will buy them time. Now McCoy's back on his feet. Drassel needs to play this out correctly because I see nades coming through.
I don't know whose smoke that was, but if it was Drassel's, that's a 900 IQ player. Put the smoke down.
Look at the north.
And then lay the mine. Low balls the nade, they walk up, and it does the job. It knocks one, so he's allowed to get the res, but then that might be enough. We do have to hop on board with Na'Vi because they're in no man's land. Singularity might have them dead to rights there. Atletico, Na'Vi, C9, Red Canids. Everyone's out in the open. McCoy's kicking off. He's got 2 back-to-back. That's Vasily and Charlie, so there is a response there. And we're just going to keep going, try and get as many fights as possible. Hell yeah, brother. What a response from Ghost Gaming. Yeah,
managing to get that revive was such a big play. I don't know if Drassel was lost in the process. I think it is just now McCoy left. But they still managed to hold on. That looked like they were dead to rights, but now that northern side, it's dangerous for everyone. Cloud9 trying to make a last-minute run for it. Just get the hell out of there, but now Senya wants to take him down with him. Nice work from Senya, good connection. But Cloud9 still a player standing. Na'Vi backs to the wall here, got so many enemies in so many spots, and Atletico are pushing forward through this. They're still racking up the points on the way. Zoid, mate, gonna push down towards Pome. Pome goes down. This is a big pickup of points for Atletico. They are going off right now.
The advantage for them is they're on a slower side of the circle. They can move forward and try and mop up what's left here. You'll have Singularity, Na'Vi, and pretty much the last man standing here for Cloud9. They can pick up these kills. It's easy frags, it's easy points because the blue is so slow they're allowed to do this. They don't have vehicles, so they can just walk in. The problem is that is open waters, and teams that are going to be inside the circle, they'll have full vision on them.
No front tire on that bike. This isn't going to be pretty. He's a great individual player.
You've got to work with what you've got, Lauren.
This isn't going to be great. There we go. He's got the upgrade, but still, to what end here? It looks like Atletico will work their way forward. They're the kind of last team leaving this sort of area. Singularity have their 1 player still playing border control, and Atletico are taking every fight possible, and I'm liking it. They've got some real nasty players. Tempo Storm getting spotted out. Rusty Zera is having a bit of a tournament thus far. Nades coming out from FaZe. Oh my word, I thought that almost had it. Not quite far enough. McCoy just about made it in, got gifted a crate, but now has a lot of attention.
That one might do it, Lauren. Oh my God, it bounced off his head near enough.
Pray for McCoy.
And gone. Okay. Ghost Gaming, that's the 16th, a 12th, and the 13th.
Oh, they're pulling up next to him. That's insane. He gets 1. I thought there was a second. I thought they were going to run him over for a second. They had no idea he was waiting in that bush. And in the meantime, look at the other team turning up. Incognito are not far away. They heard those shots. They might start looking towards the northern side, knowing they are not the last team to come out from that area.
Everyone's inside the circle. Be a rough idea where people are. So look at this map for a second. Western side, 2-2 split for the Knights all the way down south. SSG and Rumblers yet to make a real appearance here. Circle, it goes central. FaZe Clan. Would you believe it? 2 sides of the road, Lauren. They're going to control that really tall building, the high-rise building.
Yep.
And across the road, they're using their teammate Mexi just to control all this from any information so no one else can come. That, I can't, literally, if this circle goes central again, they are absolutely laughing. You get on roof of there, you just batter people from afar.
Yeah. The Knights working their way in as best they can. They've done well to come out from the western side. They've had a bit of a rough tournament. They've been getting a lot of fights, scrappy fights on the outskirts. Really feeling they've had much of a chance with it. But for now, let's look at who's in the good positions. Tempo Storm still okay. Red Cannon's down to just a couple of members, though. That's the issue for them. The Incognito boys, Atletico boys in the north still need to find their way to the circle. K-Mind, last man alive. G2, not a bad spot. But also, Space Soldiers Gaming could be pretty deadly here. There's Uber getting a couple of shots off, going to get the lay of the land here. That's Atletico making their run. From north to south, K-Mind's going to see it. The Knights are going to see it. Who picks it up, though?
And this is the... Oh, dear. Atletico not having the best of times on the vehicles by the Lone Snakes as well. KMI needs to get the job done here. The last stand for C9 in this match.
Yeah, he's getting helped out by a third party, though. That's from a team behind him up the hill, but the car, it blows up, but he's still alive. The nade will put him down. Cloud9 eliminated. NA not having a tournament just yet at all. Atletico have gone down as well. They are a scrappy bunch, but I'm pretty sure that's them eliminating the North. Incognito didn't need to get involved in the end, really. They held the other side of the ridge. The Knights working in from the west, as every other team will now be in the circle.
They're playing edge. Another team is struggling so far. Unlucky for some, number 13. They get a couple of points in the bag. They should jump them. Atletico with 9 kills. That's a good effort, to be fair for them.
They're a fiery squad. If you want to look at an underdog who is just absolutely popping off, I see an Orm in the kill feed. Here we
both just go. Look at that.
Here we are.
Hetra. Another man, Sam and Baha, long-time teammates. Both who can use the sniper, a bolt action, whatever. Ranger, marksman, give him a long-range scope and they'll get the job done. Tempo Storm also with a big boy gun. I see the 249 there still in the hands of Mr. Sharky. McCoy may have had some level 3 gear had he stayed alive, so NA have turned up with the gear. They're going to have the level 3s in the weaponry.
Exactly.
But it is Europe in the form of FaZe Clan who are currently holding center point. All the cards, to be fair, I mean, look at this position they've got. They could just, from the top windows, keep themselves safe, cover the bodies, have a window peek here and there, and potentially just keep people at bay.
And also the hard part for the likes of Bitloft and working up.
Oh, it's still in.
Okay, so they're still safe here. And for Space Station Gaming, they do need to find a way through. So they know where the Rumblers are, because that's where they got the knock. But clearly G2 have their number as well. Tempo, Storm need to find a way through. Do they pick City or do they pick going forward? What a beautiful shot. Thank you, observers. We love Ansvar and his team for giving us this beautiful action. It's when they miss a kill and everyone kicks off. But anyway, good stuff from them. And it is Bitloft getting a glimpse of the Rumblers working their way further forward. This does open up potential space for teams in the south, but it is going to be split by that main road running through the middle.
I'm intrigued to see what the play is here from FaZe Clan. They need to, they do have a good position, but it's not 100% safe. Should the circle be unfavorable to them, they have to move. Mexi has changed position from the bottom of the hill across the road.
Always being their next step if they need one. I feel that's what he's always providing, which I really like. He gives them the next options. Yes, it's risky, but yes, look at what it allows them to be so free to be able to make these peaks, get these pickups. That's Incognito now, getting spotted out by just about everyone. That, oh, as if.
The towel. Yeah, Mexi is one of these minds in PUBG that just does weird and wonderful stuff, and he's such a strong team leader. I mean, I'm not going to go into it during this game, but you talk about Nations Cup and Finland going in with him at the helm. It's going to be fun. But for now, he does change position. FaZe Clan 4 up. They are looking onwards to the north. You've got the nice Incognito about to go head-to-head. The initial frag's there. The second one could be the follow-up through the mid-air. And it's just going to be a firing field. Tempo Storm, be aware they are on the back foot of this. They are seeing all this action, and there's only one way, and that's forward for them. So very soon, they'll come into the line of sight of the Knights, but the Knights have got problems of their own because Bitloft has turned up behind them.
They have, and SSG are being found by just about everyone, whether it was G2, Rumblers. They had the gear, but they didn't have the players to use it. And we are seeing Tempo Storm starting to receive a bit of attention now. The nades coming through, and clearly the Knights are aware. Nox a little further ahead from the others, hopefully not too isolated. He's got a nice little ridgeline to play off.
Here we go.
Inside bleeding out in the meantime. Waiki Kamukau still alive, but he's out of this fight, leaving it towards those other two. And it looks like Tempo Storm are backing away. They don't want it.
I don't think they can back away, Lauren. They're outside of the white. They have to go forward. The zone will force the engagement. The bullets come through, but the distance, Uber, with the mini from the building, we said they have line of sight on all of this. This will cause problems now. Zampa stepped up, Nox reels again, so 2 down here tonight.
That's a big push from Dre. As soon as they saw it was the same team that they just knocked, it was go time. This is points aplenty, and there's the pickup. Drayden still stands, but it's a matter of how long, because look at Bitloft. They went in on the action. They hear. They smell blood in the water, and they know what's happening. He's healing Drayden. Oh my God. Right now, Drayden with bated breath. Does he get seen? He does, and he goes down. A valiant attempt. He tried as he might. It's just down to Dre, if I'm not mistaken, standing for Tempo Storm, 5 HP in a dream. He's going to try and get the med kit off. Blue is on his back. Bitloft and knocking at the door. They're pushing down on this. They want to clear it out. They want those points. Dre's back up on full HP, though. Maybe he can do something. Their teammates are bleeding out by the wayside. Was it worth it?
Just dropped off the hillside, so be able to get the res for now. Good effort from Drayden. He saw them above him, and if they hadn't looked down the hillside, he could have got the res. It's definitely a good way. G2 move on board with them. 2 players outside of the white. The Rumblers now, decent position for them. Good compound, center point, almost. Selzen just heading upside of the hill here. Waikiki Mukau still alive. You know, for Bitloff, they might just disengage from this one. Why bother fighting it? Just get ready and set up, because, again, tempo, they can only come one way.
Yeah, I would say the next big problem for all these teams, if it's anyone on the northern side, it looks quite likely it could go south just percentage-wise. If it does, crossing that road is going to be pretty much signed, sealed, delivered death, with so many teams literally in those buildings on the southern side where we saw Mexi previously, he moved across. So interesting what happens here. Rumblers still alive, holding on. They are really trying to keep their game going, and it's not been easy for them either. They got that Orm received towards them earlier, and we do see the rest of G2 now consolidating their forces, pulling themselves together. Tempo Storm on the outskirts, working their way around. It looks like Bakawaka just got spotted as well, I think, quite far out. Waikiki Mukau tries to make a run, and he gets made into mincemeat. Down he goes, Fuzzface is there. And again, FaZe looking for the next potential victims.
Mexi should get a read on where Bitloft are, if not with a couple of noises of the footsteps in front of them, maybe even spots one of them moving between the rafters of the balls behind. I can see the grenade coming out in his hand. He's just cycled the weapons, which suggests to me that he has some sort of information. He's also been tagged up and damaged. He did just overextend. Now the call comes through. Fuzz, have a look above my head, David, and check if anyone's knocking on my door, and they are. So they need to be careful themselves, but on the opposing side, just over the road, not too far. G2 in the same scenario, just keeping Rumblers in check. Broken building, so if they get an absolutely colossal grenade.
Here we go. Suddenly, all right, let's talk about what this means, Rich, because the Rumblers have gone from 0 to hero, and all the teams who are happily just popping off shots in those buildings can't sit there anymore.
So this is where you need Mexi for FaZe to be watching where the rest of all the players in front of him have gone. If there's an avenue of escape here for FaZe Clan, they should take it. Initial frags will go down. They'll try and feel it out. Just go fishing with dynamite. Hope something comes up. If it doesn't, it at least gives them, again, an avenue for them. It's Bitloft who are the next problem. Bitloft have the compound. They could sit in the broken garages in front of them. They would be inside the circle. But it's such rough terrain, because then you've got to cross the road and you're pretty much dead.
Well, 5 seconds, and they need to make their minds up. I don't know how much utility FaZe has. Tempo Storm has some. Bitloft, I'm not seeing any on one of the players. That's not a good look. You need those smokes to cross. If anyone sets up to try and get those shots across, you're going to be found. Tempo Storm's in the position for it. G2, Red Cannons could potentially do it as well, but they'll be kind of sacrificing themselves for the... trying to get across themselves. They'll be kind of shooting themselves in the foot. So every team needs to find a way in, and right now FaZe might just have to stick on this. And Tempo Storm in a spot of bother. You are seeing the Red Cannons starting to open up, but there's that blue, and it does damn well hurt. Off we go, boys, and oh no, on the way down, it's dear, greeting them with a smile and a whole lot of bullets. G2 are ready and waiting, and that is going to be their side of things. Can they make it off the hill? I don't know, because they just found FaZe as well. Fuzzface just got spotted, and that's danger for FaZe. The high ground is G2's. They can, oh, the shot from Uber. So crisp, going to force some of these boys back, and they ain't safe just yet. And Uber, oh my word, Uber, you absolute animal.
Oh my word. We've seen what Uber can do from an individual standpoint, and that right there is it. Nowhere to go, blue on the back, what can you do? Mini 14 puts them dead to rights. Bullets come across from the opposing side. This might distract Bitloff for now. There's only one player looking towards the side of FaZe Clan. I don't think they can get the res. Fuzz is still down there. No, he's gone. He went out earlier on. Excuse me. Now they've moved up. Bitloft actually might flip towards FaZe here.
They could do. This could be their choice. We are down to 4 teams. This is the last time of it, but AC on the cross gets the angle, using the smoke so well, trying to occlude from Tempo Storm and finds an angle on them. And again, FaZe Clan are coming into their own. This spray, that 3 times. This guy, this team, they're gods right now. But they still have the Rumblers to get past down the line, but they have to get past Bitloft first. Bitloft taking them down, though, one by one. They're falling. I think it's just Uber alive. Oh, and they've fallen. Bitloft plays spoiler. to the absolute tear phase we're going on. And now the Rumblers emerge, hidden, waiting patiently. They arrive. They remove Tempo Storm. We're down to 2. Bitloft suffered casualties during that. This is surely the Rumblers game.
We spoke about what a swing a win can do, and this is exactly what the Rumblers need. There's only 3 points in the bag when it comes to kills, but 10 points would send them flying up that leaderboard. 11 kills from Bitloft as well. This has been a massive game from them.
Huge game. All these regions are turning the hell up. Lost HD doing what he can, but it's Waldo to close it. And it's the Rumblers. The NA Cinderella story carry-ons here.
Quite literally 0 to hero. Back-to-back 0-point games, and now they've just picked up 15 just like that. Another win today would send them further up the leaderboard and maybe solidify themselves into the top 10. Unfortunately, if you talk about second line,